If we think about who saints are, they're people who are born for a certain time period and rise to the occasion. They don't think twice about how in the world am I going to do this. They just step into it, and they use whatever grace, whatever skill, whatever talent that God has blessed them with to go out into the world and make the world a better place. So we really do have so many saints among us.
I got into education really because of my passion for student learning.
I can go back to my kindergarten yearbook, and under dream job it says teacher.
I learned when I was young that Jesus was a teacher and a carpenter. I ruled out carpentry, so then I went into teaching if I wanted to be like him.
In order to mitigate the impacts of COVID-19 in our state, today I make the very difficult decision to order closures of schools in Snohomish, King, and Pierce counties.
March was a really scary time.
It was a Wednesday. We ended up having to close school for Thursday and Friday, so we had 2 days to prepare.
The critical thing for us, of course, was to think first and foremost about the safety of our students.
The real superheroes in this situation, the real saints, were the teachers, because they took on every challenge and they met it with a willingness to put everything that they had into it.
Mr. Cantu came by to deliver their diplomas in person. We had a drive-by graduation where we drove through the parking lot and all the teachers were out. It was little things like that that made it possible to remember that we were still part of the school community. We weren't forgotten, even though we really were feeling very isolated.
COVID has brought us together as a team, as one common entity with a mission, and a mission for educating students. In March, we started the daily Zoom meetings with principals led by Kristen Dixon and her team. That's one of the silver linings of COVID, is that we collaborated.
Our principal, Dr. Romero, she has been a true source of hope for us. There isn't a single job that she's asked us to do that she herself has not done.
To me, the real saints that I'm grateful for every day is our students. You know, it'd be easy for a student, especially in this time, to just kind of give up or to be discouraged or to just check out. Our students haven't done that at all. I mean, our students are all in. They're caring for their teachers and they're working hard. And I think that's an expression of sainthood.
Catholic education should never be out of the reach of Catholic families. And so for Fulcrum to provide that and make a Catholic education more accessible to more families is critically important.
We've anticipated a huge increase in the amount of financial aid that's needed, and Fulcrum has stepped up to make that available to families.
We have been the recipients of so much generosity from the Fulcrum Foundation.
Fulcrum recognized the needs before we even knew that they were needed. Fulcrum acted without any of us having to ask them to. They knew what schools were up against, and they are here to support us.
Fulcrum is extraordinary. Our schools have not only received money, but received it quickly. They've been able to use that money for tools that they need for their educational endeavors right now. Right now, they're using Fulcrum money.
This year, early on, Fulcrum recognized the schools were going to have some real challenges with the pandemic, and through the generosity of some incredible donors, established a COVID Emergency Relief Fund, and we have given out grants to 50 schools since June, and we're continuing to do that.
Fulcrum's COVID relief grant was such a blessing. It really pulled us through our vulnerability.
We ended up getting the emergency relief grant. We got $60,000, which really allows me to breathe easily and focus on the classrooms and the safety of the kids and academics and the faith piece.
Our costs have skyrocketed. We've had to hire additional staff. We've had to do actual construction to accommodate students safely. And without their support just for that, I don't know what we would do. And I really don't know what other schools would do.
I've been thinking a lot about what we have. A third grade girl said to her mom, "I feel really loved there." For a child to say, "I feel loved there," is exactly what we want. You know, we're able to live our faith, and we're really sorry.
The strength that we have comes from that communal collective work And I think Fulcrum is a true expression of that community.
Fulcrum has been able to address some very serious and significant financial needs for our schools, but couldn't do it without donors. Donors are the essential thing to Fulcrum's ability to assist our students and families and assist our schools so that all the children who want to have a Catholic education can get one.
None of this would be possible. None of us would be surviving this without our greater partners like Fulcrum. And every single time someone gives a gift to Fulcrum, it's going to fight for our Catholic schools. So that makes every single one of you donors out there a saint.
I'm overwhelmed by how generous people continue to be in a time when it would be very easy for them to say, hey, it's just too uncertain right now. I can't do this right now. And we would understand, and they know that, but they don't. They still give, they still support. That touches my heart, and that makes a difference in the lives of so many students right now.
We're asking everybody to rise to be an everyday saint for our students, our schools, our Catholic community by donating generously at the Celebration of Light so that Fulcrum can continue to spread the blessings of its donors to our students, our families, our faculty, and our staff.